today we are going to make a Deco mesh starburst wreath, and we're going to be doing Halloween. So I thought, I have a lot of really cute Halloween stuff, and I thought, well, that'd be a really good one to do. So I'm not done making summer yet, but I thought it might be fun to do a Halloween one today. So let's get started. Alright, so we are going to be making bundles. That's how you make the starburst wreath. It's kind of similar to the curly Deco mesh wreath, except it's more like a petal than it is a curl. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 different colors. We're going to take orange, black, green, and purple. These are all 10 by 10 inches, and these are all the metallic. So every one of these is the metallic. So we're going to be using those. I have this is a 14 inch, yeah, 14, this is a 14 inch wire wreath form. It's the flat kind, so it has the 4 little levels, whatever you want to call that. And then we have some Deco mesh tubing. I thought that would be fun to put some of that in there. I have green, I have purple, I have orange and black. Look at our cool little guy that we're going to put on at the end. I think he's cute. And I also have some kind of metallic orange. Now this isn't tubing, this is actually, I guess they call it like flex wired tubing. And I also have some bats. I'm not sure if we're going to use those or not. And then, on top of that, we have lots of ribbon. So I have all kinds of different ribbon. So this will be fun. This is my favorite. So what we're going to do, just move these out of the way because we don't need these yet. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut. We're going to make lots of cuts. Kind of similar to you do when you're making the curl. So we'll open all these up.
Hello,
Hi Carson, come in. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Carson's gonna help.
Yeah.
I'm just opening these up. Alrighty. We're almost there. So I'm going to roll all these out together so I can cut them at the same time. We're going to cut with one of Carson's favorite things, the rotary cutter. Huh, buddy? He likes the rotary cutter. Okay. So, I'm going to roll all these out together. Try to get the ends together. This just makes it a lot faster, especially if you're cutting several at one time. I always like to start with a clean edge because I think it's difficult to measure if we don't. So I'll start, whoops, I'll cut a clean edge. Okay, I'll throw that away. So now they're all the same length. That just makes it easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut every 10 inches. So it'll make 10 by 10 squares. So I'll cut it 10. You laying with Bella?
Yeah.
20.
Though.
See, and each one of these is going to be a bundle. We're going to need between, depending on how full you want it, we're probably going to need between 24 and 36 bundles. So I'm essentially going to cut the majority of these rolls. But for right now, we'll just cut a few, just so you can see. So I just keep doing the same thing. I cut it 10, and I cut it 20. And if you haven't seen my videos before, what I'm cutting on is a Fiskars mat, and this kind of mat is self-healing, so you can cut mesh, fabric, pretty much anything that is crafty. And I use a rotary cutter. It just makes it a lot faster. You can get these from Walmart, Amazon. They're easy to find. So I'm just going to keep cutting these, but I'll cut the rest of them off camera. But I did want to show you what we're going to do. So these are 10 inches, which means I want to cut my ribbon at 12. And I do that because I want it to stand up from my mesh. You can also cut them at 14. It just really depends on how you want it to look. So I will pull a couple of these open because I want to show you what we're going to do. And this one's already open. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a few. And this is a piece of cardboard that I cut at 6 inches, and I just covered it in duct tape because it just keeps it from falling apart, and it also makes it very easy to slide my scissors under. So I just wrap this around. See, and when I cut at the top here, I have a 12-inch ribbon. I also have one of these that is 7 inches in case I want to do 14-inch. But we're just going to cut a few. Oh, this ribbon is so cute. The little dots have almost like felt on them. It's cute. Okay, so when I get back up top, I'll cut it. And I know it's the top because I notched it. Because if I get to going really fast and I'm not paying attention, I'll forget where the top is. That's never good. Okay. So I just slide my scissors in here and cut it. And just like that, I have 4 ribbons cut. And then I can fold them in half and cut at an angle just to get that nice little detail. Like this. There we go. And then we'll cut one of these. We'll do the same thing. Just wrap it around my little tool. And I got all of these ribbons from Craft Outlet. So if you're wondering where to get them, it's a great place to go. Okay, so do the same thing. Fold it over. Cut at an angle. And these are 2.5-inch ribbons that you can use 2-inch, you can use 1.5. It's just kind of personal preference. Okay, we'll cut a little bit of this one. Okay. There we go. Set that one aside. And we'll do one more, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do. So see, I have 4 bundles here. And I want to have 4 different types of ribbon because I'm gonna put 2 ribbons in each one. Okay, and we'll use this one too. Looks like I already have a couple cut. No, that's a small one. Sometimes if I have leftovers, I'll just put it right back on the roll so that when I bring it back out, I can use it. So, let's see, do we do 4? 3. There we go. 4. Okay. Alright. I'll cut the detail on this one. There we go. Alright, now we have 4 different types of ribbon. We have 4 bundles. So we can start putting a few bundles together. Alright, so for simplicity, I'm just going to use the black pipe cleaners. So, move this up a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bundle, separate it out, and I'm going to pull it at each end. Now, I don't want to pull it so tight that it's terrible, but I want to tuck in the 2 ends right here, and then I'm going to pinch it. And that's what's going to make our sunburst. So I like to hold it in between my fingers because I know I'm going to do this several times. And I'll just take another one, take the 2 ends, pull it apart. I'll tuck these 2 little middle pieces under and then pinch it in the middle. Put it inside my hand here. Same thing. Pull, tuck, and pinch. Like that. See how cute that's going to be? So when you tie them together and you tie your ribbons, it looks like this instead of the curl. Okay, so do this one. Grab it at opposite ends, pull it, tuck these 2 ends under. And the reason you do that is because it helps keep it from fraying. So you don't want it to fray. So I've got that. I'll just grab 2 ribbons, like here. And if you've seen me do the curly mesh, you'll know that when I put my bundles together, I will put the whole thing together. I'm not going to wait and do another part later because the more times you open it, the more difficult it's going to be. So I'll just put this all together like this. I'll take my pipe cleaner, run it around the back, and I want to pull it pretty tight. So I'll just twist it like this. See, and then when we get it in the form, it's going to look like this. So this is what it's going to look like. So you're just going to make a bunch of bundles just like this. See, and you see since we pull these out like this, you could also make the ribbon 14 inch so it will stand up a little bit more. It just depends on what you want. So let's do one more bundle. And I want to show you something different too. This time we're going to cut some of this tubing and have it stand up. So let's see, let's cut this tubing at 30 inches. Okay. And I want to do, whoops. I'm just going to use it as a guide to cut another one. And I will randomly put these in my bundles. Just gives it a little bit more interest. I'll show you what I mean. It's stuck. Okay. So usually when I do these, I will make a loop like I'm making a bow, like this. And then tie it down on top when I'm tying my bundles. And see, then you'll see this too. It'll look cute because you'll have the black and orange, the green. So just like that. So this time we'll put one of these in. So, since I've already pulled this together, I'm just going to use a chip clip to hold it together. And you know, that brings up a good point. If you have trouble with your hands, you can use things like this to hold all of your stuff together if you can't hold it in your hands. It won't hurt it. Okay, so same thing. We take this, we're going to pull it at opposite ends, tuck in the middle, pinch it, put it in my hand. I'm not really paying attention to what order I'm putting my colors in because it doesn't really matter. Pull it, tuck it in, and pinch in the middle. And you want to make sure when you're putting your bundles together that these are going in the same direction, because you don't want one going up, one going down. And I like to put mine down so that these, you know, edges that we've cut are down, because it just, if there is a little bit of fraying, you're not going to see it like you would if the edges are up. So pull it opposite sides, tuck this middle under, and then put it in my finger. Okay. Sorry, I have little allergies today. Okay, so pull at the ends, tuck in the middle, pinch. See, this is a lot like making a flower, except we're not really making petals, we're making more like starburst. Okay, so I'll take 2 more ribbons, different ones for this one, pinch it in the middle, put it on the top, and then I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it down, and then I'm going to put my pipe cleaner. So see, I have them all going the same direction. I'm just pulling it tight and then twisting. And then I'll just do a little bit of this. Make sure it's tight. I want them to want to go up, so I will kind of squish it together at the end. Like that. It's okay, buddy. So what we'll do is I will keep making these bundles, and then when I'm done, we're going to come back, we're going to get our lovely frame here, and we are going to put these down. So we'll put it just like we do with our, the one that we do that has the curls in it. I will put it in between those middle sections. So in between 2 and 3. And I will tie it down really tight like this. And that's it. And as we go around, it will get fuller and fuller. So, and I will keep scrunching it up a little bit just to make sure that it's going to come up and not all hang out in the middle. And then we'll put our little guy in the middle. So that'll look really cute. Okay, so I showed you what it looks like if you have the 12-inch ribbon. I thought before I go off and get all these cut so that we can put it on the wreath, I want to show you what it looks like to do a 14-inch ribbon. You can see the difference. Because oftentimes when I do these, I will get started and then I will realize that I'd rather have a larger ribbon because of the way it looks. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take our ends, pull them. Wait, I'm going to do it this way. So I just changed the way I was doing it because I had a small little ravel on one side, so I'll use that end to tuck it in. Okay. Pull, tuck in the middle, and do your pinch. Okay. Again, pull, tuck in the middle, and pinch. Okay, one more. Pull, tuck in the middle, and pinch. Okay, so now we have our 4 pieces together. I do have a couple of the ribbons cut that are 14 inches. So I'll just show you that. Okay, so I have 2 14-inch ribbons. I'm just going to do the same thing. Pinch them. Whoops. Put them down. Get my pipe cleaner. Pull it around. Tighten it. And then I want to pull it up and tighten it again. Okay, so this is with the 14-inch ribbon here, and this is with the 12-inch. So it really just depends on, you know, do you want the ribbon to be really seen, or you just want it to be kind of seen a little. So I think I'm actually going to go with the 14. But I did want you to see that because, you know, it's okay to do 12. It's okay to do 14. It's okay to do 16 if you want to, but I wouldn't want to make it any larger than this. When I'm doing the curly, I always do 12 because I'm taking the 10-inch and I'm essentially folding it in half. But this way, we're actually pulling the ends out to make this kind of, you know, starburst effect. And so the longer ribbon really works better here. So I'm going to keep making these bundles. And then when I get back, we will start putting them on the base. And then we can decorate. I have all kinds of little decorations that we can add, you know, depending on what looks best. So I shall be back shortly. So I have tons of bundles made, so we can start putting them on our frame. Bring some more up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe cleaners, these little ends that we have left over. We're going to come to our wreath form and we're going to go in between 2 and 3. So I'm just going to stick them right in between. See right there, in between 2 and 3. And I'm going to tie it down really tight. There we go. You can tie the 2 together. Now when you first start out, you're going to need more bundles in these sections But as you start going around, it's going to be very similar to the way it is when you have the curly. Because as you continue to add, then it will get fuller and fuller, and you'll be able to get less bundles in there. So you could start out needing 6 in each section. So I'm just doing the same thing. I just put my little pipe cleaners right through the center section. And I'm just going to twist it tight. Like that. And I'm going to go on to the next one. See, some of these have the little Deco mesh tubing and some do not. So I'll kind of just intersperse them as I go. So once again, in between 2 and 3. And I'll just tie it on. Grab some more. I have lots of bundles here. And I'll just grab another one and do the same thing. So I'm just putting one pipe cleaner on one side and one pipe cleaner on the other side. Right, like that. Pulling it up. Tying it on. And then pushing it over. So I want to make sure that you can't see any spots where the frame is. So you see, you can't really see any. See? Doesn't that look cute? I like that. Make sure you can see it. And here's the back. So you see, so far I have, let's see how many I have in here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably fit one more. So the first section, anytime I do one of these, almost always the first section is going to take 6. And then as you go up, doing each section, you'll need less. So that's why I said you would need between, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections in here. So you really need between 27 or 24 and 36. Most likely it'll be more towards the 36 range. So again, I'm just putting it in between 2 and 3, tying it tight, and scooting it over. So that's our first section. And the first section's complete. And when I go to the next section here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pick up a packet, a bundle, and I'm going to go in the back and just put it in between 2 and 3. Tie it down tight. Okay. And then another one. These do tend to stick together, but that's okay. They'll come loose. So in between 2 and 3, I'll just pull it down until that tie is in the middle of 2 and 3, and then I'll tie it. And push it over a little bit. So see, we have 2 in this next section, but already I can tell that we're probably not going to need 6. So you see how that first section, because you are just putting them in, that you can really have to put the most. And as you go around, especially when we get down here at the end, there'll be a whole lot less you have to put in. So I'm going to keep going around and putting these in. And then when I come back, we can add a few little decorations to it. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, I've gotten all of the bundles in. Isn't that pretty? So I wanted to show you the back. So what I ended up doing is I ended up with about 4 in each section here. Oop, there we go. And you will have to push the middle in because it's going to have a tendency to want to lay down. And you are going to have frays, but what you can do is get some E6000 adhesive spray and just spray it really well and then clip off the little frays, and it will help it from continuing to fray. But this method's worth it even if it does fray because it's so cute. So then after I get done, I'll just go around and straighten up all my ribbons. Make sure you can see them. Like this. See, and you can see these little, you can see the little Deco mesh tubing. So that looks cute. And then I thought it would be cute if we took our little skeleton guy and kind of sit him in the middle. So only parts of his body is able to flex, so I will get that off of there. So I'm going to put him right in the middle like he's sitting. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take here it is. I'm going to take some of my floral wire, cut it off. Okay, and I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it through a couple of places and just tie it. I'll run it under his head. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then I will put it through, kind of move my mesh aside until I can find the base, and then I will run it through the base, the wire frame, put him in place like that, and then I will turn it over and I will tie it in the back. This really is the best way because wire is not going to come off. And I always have way more than I need just because I want to make sure I can reach the frame and that I can get him where I want him to go. So now I will do the same thing with the one I put on the back. Okay. So I'm going to have to run this one to the side because it's kind of in the middle. And that's fine, it'll still hold it. There we go. Okay, so now we've gotten our little skeleton guy in. He is not going to go anywhere. And I'll just kind of move things around. See, we do have some little frays. So I'll just clip those off as I see them. This is very similar to when you do a flower. So, you know, when you do a flower, you're going to end up with these frays. You just have to spray it, kind of clip the frays off, and then it should be fine. It's not going to hurt these things like this to get sprayed, or the ribbon. It's not going to hurt the ribbon either. So I'll just do the whole thing and spray the whole thing lightly. So we've got him in. We have a few other choices of things we can put in. There's all kinds of stuff. Okay. So we have these little bats. These are actually metal, which I think is great because then you can just wire them right to your frame. Let's see. Trying to figure out how to get this wire off. They're kind of wired together. There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, we have these little bats. And what I can do is just stick them down in the frame and just tie it down. So I'm just tying it around the back on the frame with the wire. Here we go. See, and there's our little bat. And there's where I tied him, right there. I have all kinds of little, these would be really cute because they kind of stand up. So I could just take one of these, cut it off. Isn't that cute? Then I can just figure out where I want to put it, like this. Then I'll just take some floral wire and wrap it around the bottom of this. Like that. Let's see. Here, I think this is a good spot. So I will run the wire right through to the base. And just pull it down and then flip it over and use this wire to tie it to the base. I'm not too worried about all of this mess back here because I'm going to cover the back of this. Let's see, do I have one of those? Okay, so we got that tied down. See, that's cute. Okay. So I have all kinds of cute little things, and I will kind of just go through and add them, and then I'll hang it up, see if I need to add anything else. Haha, here we go. But I did want to show you what I will do with the back. So once I get everything on here and complete, what I'm going to do is turn it around, and I'll just kind of push all my ties down. I may cut them off and kind of hide them around. I will take, let me see. I have these pipe cleaners that are in this kind of metallic gold, and I like to use these as hangers. So I'll figure out where I want to put my hanger. So I want him to be on top. So I will do it right here. So I'll just flip this around, make a loop. Then I will tie this onto my base. Whoops, I didn't tie that side well. And I will put a drop of glue on it to make sure it doesn't move. And then I will take one of these placemats, and you can get these from the Dollar Tree, and I will just use a little bit of wire and I will wire it to the back. So then you're not going to see any of this mess that's here in the back. And you're going to have a nice little hanger to hang it with. This just really helps. And this does too, because then it makes everything look pretty. It's so easy and so fast to do. So I hope you like this. Please comment and subscribe and let me know what you think. And let me know if there's another one you would like to see. Now, of course, you could do this method with anything. You could do Christmas. You could do a beach theme. Anything that you can think of. It certainly doesn't have to be Halloween. It's just the method itself that is pretty amazing, I think. So, have a great day, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.